life with no distractions. We'll get away. This is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's go, let's be free with me. Be free. Not looking back, eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche. We're on the run, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free.
Welcome to another warm-up show with your co-host directly for the beautiful country of Thailand, Coach Frenchie. And we have to go all the way to Toronto, downtown somewhere, back in the house, Mr. ENORTAP. Welcome back
Hello, Coach. Hello, Hockey Nation.
on the beautiful Wednesday night on November 30, last day, Mr. ENORTAP, of the
Yeah,
November, and we're going to hit the December. I'm already in December. You are not. I'm going to celebrate, Christmas before you, because we're going to have 12 hours in front of you. So it will be interesting.
sure.
The lights are up, the tree is up, and we're going to relay it for the Christmas. We're about, 26 days before the Christmas hit everybody.
We're getting
And
there.
we have to
We're
get some
getting there.
kind of vacation for the Hockey Nation Live show. And I think we take time to take some vacation, by the way. But look, we have a
Just to
lot of talk,
recuperate.
a lot of things to talk about, Mr. Natap, tonight. 9 game, and really one game was like a beer league happening last
Oh my
night late.
gosh.
It was really interesting. Like I said to you earlier, like if you go to the restroom, you usually come back, you miss 2 goals. Not only one,
I
but
know.
2. That how it was during that game. Going to talk about that game. Going to talk about other things, and then finally 4 game on the program tonight in NHL. Of course, is a double header TNT sport on the USA, and we're going to talk about this, and that's what's happening, Mr. Natap, on this program today. So welcome back. Thanks to be with us to give us
Thank
all
you.
the
My
light show. We have,
pleasure.
of course, a couple of people did very well yesterday, but again, another night of shocking game result at the end of the night by different team, and good for Flyers. Finally, they found a way to get a W over there. And again, the New York Islanders. So we have a couple of concerns about different teams, and some teams step up. So that's good to see that. But we have, first of all, Mr. Natap talking about the people. They are the most important people in the house at the Hockey Nation Live show. I'm talking about Mr. RJ Calabro back in the house tonight.
Our fans, yes, indeed. Welcome, RJ.
We have people all around the world. We have to go all the way to Portugal. Mr. Fernando Tavares, welcome back.
Welcome, Fernando.
And we have Mr. Jarmo Virtanen from Finland. Welcome, Jarmo.
Jarmo, the man. Welcome aboard.
We have the double moderator, Luciano Graziano, a run with Kings, and welcome back, both of you.
Hey, guys, welcome aboard.
This is somewhere in the beautiful state of Florida. Welcome back, Melissa Zabran. Welcome.
Hey, Melissa, welcome aboard.
Our friend, Mr. L. Anson, returned the Hockey Nation Live show tonight at the warm-up. Welcome back.
Hey, Mr. Hansen, how's it going?
Our friend, Marco Larabi, back in the house, Marco.
Hey, Marco, welcome.
And we have our friend from Texas, Mr. Joseph Laham. We have a really quiet week. The Devils does not play a lot of games this week. I believe they play only 2 games. So he said, time to relax again after anyway, he eats so many turkey. He said Monday, he said you need to recover. So maybe he passed more time at the gym the last couple of days to recovery. Joseph Laham.
Hey, Joseph.
And our friend directly from Calgary, Mr. Randy Walkman, is in the house tonight.
Randy, way to go. Great picks yesterday.
And we just hit everybody back to back, Mr. ENORTAP, and 8 minutes. That's pretty good to do that. What a great night overall. Some people did very well. Some people did not do well. And some people did okay. That's the most important thing. You are one below what you expect. I think you said to us it was 5-4, and you got 4-5. And I said, it's a great day when I beat you and Jarmo, and I did. So it was a great day. Today, wake up this morning, I see the result of you and confirmed by the firm did with Smith. And again, we thanks for your what you do, all the record, everything like that. That gave me a lot more time to focusing on other things. But we have to give back to Mr. King of Gamer, Mr. ENORTAP, 7-2 yesterday. And let's right away put on the boss right now. The boss is already wake up. He's already set up. So let's see Mr. King on the boss. It's another one. It's a roller coaster a little bit. He go from the jail to the boss to the jail. But he did the boss for the last, a couple of times. So with his friends, he find a way to get around. And with the fun game where we expect someone win, it did not happening. So good job for Mr. King. And thanks again to participate every single day. But we have to welcome back Mr. ENORTAP. He was there last night for 24 hours. He get out. And he said, you know what, better to bring back my wife over there and the jail. So she visit him. And suddenly we see something that we find something when she crossed the checkpoint. And we was worried about that. And finally we figure out it was something stupefacient. And now we put her back. We keep her in the jail and we exchange. That's what only did we did. We say, you know what, you pass your time here, get out and keep your wife in. And that's happening, Mr. ENORTAP. Any comments about this?
Yeah, one Bengal for another. That's it.
But that's a great marriage, right? It's a great couple.
Yeah.
They support each other. So, guys, you have to get out. Maybe she was tired for the kids. That's maybe the problem. She said, you know what, better for me to be away and let him along with the kid. But because I don't know, do you feel that your wife's going to let you there, or will she pick you up if something happened to you?
Oh, she'll leave me there.
Yeah, it was my feeling about that one over there. And I think if ever you go there, the buy to get out would be been more over $1 million. So I don't think so they would have. So we'll be there for a couple more times, Mr. ENORTAP. But look, that's happening with the Hockey Nation show. Sure. We love to bring people sometimes in the boss, sometimes in the jail post. Tonight we have a lot of things, Mr. ENORTAP, talk about before we talk about the full game tonight. Let's start in with paid your attention, Mr. ENORTAP, yesterday and around the NHL, or maybe some other things?
Yeah, well, you hit the nail on a couple points already, Coach. Let's start with the last game of the 9 matchups from last night. It was like a ping pong game, just going back and forth, and just when you thought one team was going to be decisively ahead of the other, boom, they came back and either tied it or took the lead. But you gotta, you know what? I say you gotta give credit. This doesn't happen very often. It's great for the fans when you have these high scoring games. It's not great for the coaches, obviously, but they happen, and you kind of have to let it ride because there's not much you can do when this situation comes up. Congratulations to Seattle, who are definitely sending a message around the league that they're for real. From what I'm gathering, like these guys, if they keep accumulating the points, they're going to be in the playoffs. Like these guys are looking very, very good. And to think that guys like Bjorkstrand haven't really started scoring yet this year. Like imagine if he starts to get hot, that could really add more to a very already a dynamic offense in my eyes. The other game I thought was quite a statement game was the Colorado and Winnipeg. Winnipeg, I thought just played the perfect game yesterday. I thought that behind Hallebuck and his great performance, and he's been doing it all year long, they got a very balanced attack yesterday. Wheeler starting to get hot again. I thought it was great that they moved Perfetti up to the first line with Shifley and Wheeler. He's starting to really contribute for that team. And defensively, again, we're starting to see a better defense than what we anticipated at the beginning of the year. So look out for them. Islanders and Flyers. This was an ugly game, and I mean, from a bloodbath perspective, these guys do not like each other, and there were a lot of dirty hits in this game, hits from behind. There were a couple fights. It was not pretty, but Philadelphia did break their 10-game losing streak. Of course, Boston beat the red hot Tampa Bay Lightning by a score of 3-1. Um, what can you say? Like these guys have yet to lose at home. They're 19-3 and like first in the Atlantic, first in the league. Like they're just solid from top to bottom. And when you're getting contributions from, guys like Taylor Hall and Zaka, Foligno, and that's not to count obviously your top guys, right? Like Krejci's been fantastic. Bergeron, Marchand's been solid since he's come back. It's just a great, great feeling for them. And these guys, I'm waiting for that armor to fall off, but I'm not seeing it. And it's a great story, hopefully unfolding here for Boston.
You're absolutely right about this. They constant. This is the only team did not have any fall out since the beginning of the season. Like you see, Vegas struggled
None.
a couple of games. All the people like Dallas who got 2-3 games, they lost. They have only 1 point, and you can go all. But only team did not do very. They did not fall out is really the Boston Bruins. So and they did not lose any game yet at the TD Garden. So good job for them. We have a couple of people join us, Mr. Nata. Renaud, welcome back. Rick Kane, welcome back. Timedra Bengal, she's on the balcony to pick up the bug. Going to be ready to go there. We have, of course, we see under the name Terry T is back in the house. Welcome back, Terry T. And then we have. That's pretty much what we got so far. Thanks so much, everybody. Ray came. Ryan Kirk. Here we go. Welcome back, Ryan.
Hey, Ryan. Welcome. And of course, I forgot Coach Calgary. Here I think the Calgary fans did the right thing. They gave a nice tribute to Kachuk, and then after immediately started to boo him. He wasn't his usual pesty self last night. Um, and it worked in their favor. I thought Calgary dominated that game from start to finish. I know Florida was at the wrong end of a back to back course that was a bit devastating the night before, but Florida is in a spin.
Yeah, absolutely about this. 9-8 yesterday, 68 shot average in NHL, and from the slot it was 38, and then the game yesterday was 58. That's the reason you have a lot of goal yesterday between both teams.
Yeah.
As I want to mention to you, recap game between Montreal Canadiens and San Jose Sharks. Mr. ENORTAP, maybe in 1 or 2 minutes, and then my question to you will be at last because Jake Allen power play first line or the defenseman.
Oh goodness, it was hard to keep my eyes open. I'll be honest with you, it was not a very well executed game. I don't know if it was maybe the effects of having that rookie dinner the night before, and maybe they ate a little bit too much turkey, and it looked like they just weren't skating. They were not in this game from beginning to actually at the very beginning. I believe they had a 5-on-3 power play, and I don't think they even managed to get a shot on net, and
Yeah,
that
at the
kind
beginning,
of
at the beginning of the third period, you got that situation, and after that, score
at the
two
yeah
goals in 95 seconds.
yeah, and then obviously it was over. But I don't want to point fingers here to anybody in particular. I don't think Allen had particularly a great game. He let I thought two weak goals in. The power play is very anemic right now. They are not really practicing anything in particular in terms of structure with the power play. I think they're going more with five set players and trying to let them figure it out. The first line is that's what 2 or 3 games now that they've kind of been a little bit invisible. Um, Defensemen, a lot of awful mistakes yesterday. It was a team effort. Like usually we say when they win, it's a team effort. This was a team effort as well to get this ugly game out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely about that. Not really good. You think about everything, and then I think for me, the only reason the Montreal have a good record, the first 12 game is both goaltender have an amazing, great game. Allen and of course
Multiple.
Montembeau. They was play over the head. Then you have the first line for the first 16 game did very good overall. Like they play
Yeah.
so much better, not much better, but they play over the head. I think so. Then the rookie, the first 15 game, play better what the expectation was. So put all three together. That's made the Montreal PB play end the race for the playoff. But after that, if they play just normally they should be, that's what Montreal is going to look like, and that's the reason I would say they're going to be at the bottom seven, maybe bottom five was my first, but maybe
Five, yeah.
worst case bottom seven because other team don't do supposed to play the level we was expect. So you're going to see that at the November you have 6-6. They have the schedule. They finished with 6-6, Mr. Naptap, and November, and they scored 38 goal and they gave 50 goal against. The power play for the
Wow.
last 5 game, I believe, is 5.8, and that's one of the area they struggle. And then if you want to add this point, 87-1 or 871 say percentage of Jake Adams during the November when he play a game. So put all these recipes, you're going to see a bad a bad month of
Chicken soup,
December
yeah.
where Renaud just mentioned about this. We welcome back Jeffrey Corey, by the way, from Thailand, from
Welcome,
Taiwan.
Jeffrey.
Then Renaud explained, Montreal is going to play 4 game and 6 days out in the West. They only go 1-1 or play out the window. They're going to be out of the window, Renault. And I explained on my video yesterday, they play 15 games, 4 at home, 11 on the road. They play 3 time back-to-back game during that month. He played 3 time, 3 game and 4 nights. They play 2 time, 4 game and 6 night, and they play 1 time, 5 game and 8 night. This is the recipes to
Wow.
go down with the kind of team they are at the end of the day. So don't expect too much about this. for that one over there. So we'll be interested how they're going to react for December. We're not only talk
It's
about
okay.
them, but that's happening with
It's okay. We
ENORTAP.
just, at the end of the day, coach, we just want competitive games. We knew this was going to happen eventually, one way or another. It's starting a little bit earlier than we thought, but as you said yesterday, it's primarily because they have one of the toughest strength of schedules right now in the top six of the league. So if any win they can get is a bonus, but as long as they're close in the game, like yesterday was not a very good game, not enjoyable, not entertaining, and the score indicated it.
Yeah, and I talk about my underlying number where they are the bottom on many categories. Right now, the power play is the 31st in NHL. I can go all the way with that, but we're going to talk a little bit later about this. Jeffrey said, "Are the league are the best team in the league?"
Sorry, what's the question?
Are the league are the best team in the NHL?
Right now, well, they're playing much better now. But I wouldn't put them at that category just yet. I still think that they're going to pull off some kind of move at some point. They still need to address defense to a certain degree, and I think they will. And the key here is going to be if their goaltending just stays hot. Like I think, surprisingly, Murray. Well, maybe not surprisingly, because Murray's not a bad goalie. He's a good goalie. He's won the Stanley Cup with Pittsburgh. He's usually put up very good numbers. It's all about his health, and so if he can stay healthy, and once Samsonov comes back, continues to do what he was doing before, they're going to be a difficult team to beat. They're getting more balanced scoring, which is very good to see. That wasn't the case in the past. But I still don't think they're at that level of where Boston is at this moment. And of course, things can change down the road, and they probably may. But at this point, I wouldn't put them at that level.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sorry about this. I went one something nobody talk about, at least on the chat here, and I'm flying around everything I can hear come some kind of information left and right, and I try to figure out why the league are so good without Riley, everything like that. You have a name nobody talk is Holmberg. I think Holmberg right now play a solid
Yeah.
game for them. They stabilize a little bit more the bottom six of that team, and that helping to relieve maybe more minute to David Camp and the line, the middle. Of course, you have the chin, the line like Nylander, Matthew, but I try to figure out a little bit more deeper. I think Holmberg is not uh, gave enough credit for what he did, what he does right now for the Maple Leafs. So I think he's a great additional players on the bottom six for them at this moment. We'll see how they look like, but I think that's a one reason for them about this. Where Mr. Renault said after Tuesday game in Seattle next week, we know they play Thursday, Calgary, Edmonton, um, Saturday, and then they play back-to-back game Vancouver and Seattle. So 3 game and 4 night are already there, and or 4 game and 6 night. Do you expect the rookies? He said, other rookies in Seattle will the app playoff prospect
Prospects.
be toast?
Yeah, well, Renault, realistically, it would have been a miracle if Montreal ever made the playoffs this year with the squad that they have. They've done a lot of good things in the rebuild. I think that both Hughes and Gorton have so far done an admirable job of trying to rebuild this, but they have a ways to go still, and this is part of the process. I think, uh, getting a good draft pick again this year, or two or three, depending on how many firsts they can muster to get with the trade deadline, will go a long way in servicing the team for the future. They have some very good prospects in the system. They have to shed some of these contracts that are not players that are not part of our future. And yeah, we'll see results, but they'll be down the line.
Yeah,
I,
you're
I
absolutely
wouldn't
enough,
say
Pep.
any. Yeah, no particular game right now is gonna dash our playoffs hopes, because there were no hopes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was trying to explain when you said shrink the contract. It's not about the UFA we talk about or ENORTAP talk
Right.
about. You talk about
Yeah.
player like Anderson, Edmondson, and
Yes.
Gallagher
Yes.
or Hoffman. That the player have another year or other many years to come to play with Montreal. Not talking about that. They have Drouin or Monahan or Barron.
Right.
So I just want to
Thank you.
explain the reason why behind that. Richard Modern is in the house. Standing Kameka is in the house tonight. Welcome aboard. Thanks to be with
Hey,
part
Richard.
about this.
Welcome.
Rick Bengal said Montembeau should start in Calgary. Well, he will going to start. We're going to see the real Montembeau, Mr. Tap, in December. That's what you're going to see he look like. And again, nothing again, Jake Allen and Samuel Montembeau. I think they use Montembeau exactly like they use Sakoski and the rookies. They protect him and they use him as a rookie and their mind and not as a veterans. And that's what I believe that's a good thing to act that
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
about that way. Um, Montembeau is the reincarnation of Patrick Roy. Possibility Renault, and but I would say he looked like more Steve Penny at the end of December. But you're going to see who is going to happening at the end.
As long
But
as it's not red light Rasico, we're okay.
yeah, exactly about this one over there. So would be interesting. What happening? I tried to get that. Orlando coach need to run a pro team there for Disney about this. Um, yeah, but by the way, Shelton Keefe coached in the Orlando for the Solar Bear, and many years ago, because the Solar Bear was the affiliation of the Marlins and the Toronto Maple Leafs. I've been there many games. So I just want to sharing this with you about this. I try to get if we have other things in the when the people talk about this. Run as you come Toronto to Boston, I guess they can say that when they come compared to Toronto to Boston, Boston, New Jersey. It's funny because Toronto, whatever Boston doing well, Toronto are only a couple a point about this. Randy, Coach Gio is on the top of his game right now. It's a good point. He play a lot more minutes what you expect, Randy. The key, hopefully, he's not going to be too much tired for the end of the year. But right now, he accomplished a good game over there. Manor and Matthews played more complete game. Leading by example, I think Donner doing well. 28, Laval, they talk about Laval. Laval play tonight. What about our friend Dawson? Mr. Tap is back in the house.
Hey,
Welcome aboard.
Dawson.
Thanks to be with
Welcome
us.
aboard.
Touch on the Robin Ends extension, and we will create great friction with reason give it a
Friction?
skill contract negotiation not allowed. Renault. He got
No.
exactly. This is a really good plan. That it's funny because I want to talk about Dollar Star. We'll talk a little bit more tonight, but the Dollar Star guy hit on the nail. Amazing what he did. They have Robinson for 4 years, guys. At Robinson at $7.35 million. They have Eskinen, same kind of money they gave to Ends.
Yeah.
So the future with the base, the core is signed up right now, guys, for 4 years, 8 years, and 8 years. This is a great job by Jim Nell. Why they don't have $9 million or $10 million? It's easy, guys. It's a free state with no tax. So they
That's
make
right.
a kind of money with any other player, make $10, $11 million. That's the reason they get those kind of players and they get those kind of money. They get the players are lower and they manage the salary cap. So great point about the dollar style. I'm going to go a little bit more deeper, but I think this is a great mission attack. And they are for real right now. A good job they're doing there. Mr. Jerry Andres is in the house. Welcome aboard, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry. Welcome.
Denis Rodrigue, welcome back in the house. Thanks to be with the Hockey National Show. He talked about Christian Letang. I think we're going to talk about this, Mr. Natap. He was on my point, my subject, so maybe he can talk a little bit.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. This is, I believe, his second stroke. He had one, I think, 4 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And he was out for just over 3 months. So he's out indefinitely now. He claims that he's feeling well, but obviously we know that this is not something that you come back from quickly. And who knows? Who knows down the road? He's going to have to get a lot of medical advice to determine whether this is the end of his career, or he can continue with this. But unfortunate to see. You don't want to see this happening to anybody, let alone a key player to a key franchise like this. But yeah, hopefully he'll have a speedy recovery.
Yeah, absolutely about this. Great comments. I cannot add more what you just said about this. Stankos, Mr. Love, Stankos. Stankos, 1 point to get his 1,000 point, Mr. Natap. Could happen the next game, and then he's about 7 goals
Yeah.
before he get his 500. So I thought he's going to be a 500, 1,000 at the same time, but not going to happen, Mr. Natap.
No.
But it's okay. It's okay. Sean McIntyre, directly from the Maritime. He said, "What do you think the Habs should pick up the that young goaltender to put on the waiver today and trade Jake Allen?"
Which goalie are we talking about?
I don't
That's
know.
on
I
the
did not look
waivers?
the waiver list today, obviously
Yeah, I
before
didn't
the show
see.
start. Whatever it is, do you think they should do that?
I don't think so at this point. If if it happens around the trade deadline time because they trade Allen, then obviously they'll need somebody. I do not want to see at this stage Caden Primo come up just for his own development and for his own confidence. I think he should remain down in Laval for the full year. So you're going to see Monty, and you're going to need somebody else, whether it's an exchange of goalies plus a pick or something. Um, you're going to have to go that way and then work it out. But that's where the problems are going to start for Montreal, is when they're not getting the kind of goaltending that has held them in games up until now.
Yeah, I would not trade Allen because who's going to be goaltender?
Well, that's what I'm saying. They'd either have to get like a backup goalie, or as suggested, somebody that's either on free agent, or not free agent, but maybe on the waivers. But at that point, you're not going to have very much. You'd have to get somebody back from that trade.
I
Right?
would
I
not
don't
do
want to
that
see
at all.
Primo.
I would not to go
I
that
would.
direction for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't
I
disagree. Don't disagree.
Rand said too heavy to coach. Start so looking stronger this year. Peterson from LA. Sean, if this is not a chance, um, then Pat talk about this. Would you consider trading team like Toronto, Detroit, Buffalo to the Metro Division for Rangers and the Flowers?
For what purpose, Renault? I'm
I
not
think
sure
I don't know.
why.
He just wants changing the division teams.
No, I think they're set up mostly for geographic purposes and minimizing travel and cost. So at this point, if you're talking maybe for balance purposes, I could see, but I don't think that'll ever happen.
So look like it's Peterson from the Kings, Mr. Notap.
What about him?
They're on the waiver.
Oh, on the waivers. Okay. Yeah. Well, not unless you already have somebody with that's trying to give you a good return for Allen. Would I do that? No.
But the problem, we said no right away. He carried on a contract at $5.75 million.
Oh wow. I wasn't aware of that. Yeah.
So
That's horrible.
you're not
Yeah.
helping your team right now. I would not
You're
go
hurting them.
that.
Yeah.
So they came the other, their starter or that. He's really struggled for the last, and that's the reason he's there. He has a deal. I think it's $5 million. He have $5 million. Yeah, absolutely right about this.
Yeah. That's
If
not worth
Robinson,
it.
the fortunate for the MVP, and should we market him as the next Crosby type for the league? What?
I think it's moving towards that direction. I mean, this guy's showing that he's the real deal. He came, he's drafted later than a lot of the top players that are in the league, and where they got drafted. This guy is the real deal. I like him. They found a gem in him.
Yeah, absolutely about that. I just want to have the news. Stéphane Richer just, I know they got announced him as the Hall of Famer of the QM. The news is right now live. I'm listening about this. Do you believe Sergachev won the Norris?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think there's quite a few good defensemen, that better defensemen so far out there.
I think so too. I don't think so. Is going to win this year. Maybe he can win later, but not. I don't think so. This year will be
Yeah, not
um,
not this year.
the one he can get that one over there. Um, I was just confirmed about this. Randy Peterson signed a contract, guys, of $5 million. But it was a contract of 3 years. So I just want to confirm with that part for everybody. I know Randy said 2 years, but it's for 3 years contract. So I wanted to mention this for you. Ovechkin broke Gretzky goal scoring record on the road. Amazing. Yeah, this happening yesterday. The great point about this. Mr. Nata, we're heading everything about NHL news today. We got here is William McCleary is in the house. Welcome aboard, William.
Welcome, William.
We talked about this yesterday. Marner play tonight again. The San Jose Sharks go for the 18th game. I just want to open up this, old chick, and of course get it the straight. How many point for the league? Do you believe they will get that point tonight?
Yeah, I think it's very, very probable that it happens tonight. I think Marner's been on a great run. I really I enjoy watching him play. He's a very dynamic player. He has great hands, great passing, great skating skills. If, the only thing, if you ask me, that he's missing, and then it shows up around playoff time, unfortunately, is he has to have a stronger mindset. Like, he has to be more determined and confident in what he's doing. But during the regular season, he's been ripping it up. Not just this year, which is fantastic, but in the past as well.
You're absolutely right about this. William, ask you this: which has the most influence on Boston Rise? Montgomery coming in or Cassidy going out?
That's a very good question, William. I think it's a bit of both. As we know, coaches, they sort of have a very small shelf life with teams. I know there's a few exceptions, of course, especially when you look at somebody like Cooper. He's been around for double-digit years, I think, with Tampa. But for the most part, they come in and maybe they bring something different to the team, a slightly different approach. Maybe it's just about how you communicate with the players. Maybe it's about opening them up a little bit more and allowing them to play to their strengths rather than playing to a system. And it works. Like, yeah, they brought in a good coach, and we're seeing the effects of that. But the coach that they lost, obviously, is doing the same thing over in Vegas, right? Look at Bonus and what's happening with Winnipeg. So yeah, the first year, they like to call it usually the honeymoon stage, like a Boudreau last year when he went to Vancouver, and other teams that he's been with. He's had an immediate effect on some of the players and the team, but does it last for a long time? It depends.
Yeah, sorry about Renault Tank Robinson as pass message with well-rounded skill influence on the game. Um, it's hard for me to compare always a winger with a center. I
Yeah,
don't think so. It would be appropriate about that one there. And then you talk about two different players. Yeah, a guy is a sniper
yeah.
completely, and if you can compare Robinson with Marner, I think Robinson can become a guy like Mitch Marner on my eyes. But with Matthews, I think it would be a little bit different about this. Talking about Marner, Marco, talk about maybe possibility to be a candidate for the Selkie. Um, yeah,
Uh, More maybe the Lady Bing. I would say. I don't know. The Frank Selke Award is the best, both offensive and defensively. I mean, he's been good, but I think there's a few other players out there that I would put a little bit of in front of him.
Renault said resign Marner and down Matthews. Who going to score the 50 goal Renault for the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Who's he going to pass it to?
You know what I mean? Like it's easy to be the pillars, but you always say, okay, who's going to score the same level like Austin Matthews. That's always been, I always caution when you drop those kind of players like that. By the way,
Don't worry,
Toronto, I know Samson Nartap is going to be activate
activate it.
to be
Yeah.
the starter, Mr. Nartap. Let's move on. We hit the 41, so we give us a bit more time to talk about the 4 game. Then we can finish with other news we have. Mr. Nartap, it's time to figure out this. Yes, what you talk about. Yeah, it is the time, Mr. Nartap. We have to get again the bug at 53, drive by Mr. Roger, and he's going to get to the jail. We know the name of the jail changing now. It's going to call, if I can find it, Chicago 97 County Jail, Mr. Nartap. And then we have 2 people, I think could be our first time or second time in the Bengal. And then we have Randy and both of them, Mr. Nartap, are going to be right there, Mr. Nartap. We just locked them for 24 hours, Mr. Nartap. That's simple.
They'll be fine. It's very comfortable.
It's really there. The food is there. Your husband leave a lot of food for you, so don't be worried about that one over there. But we have other things going on, Mr. Natap. 4 games on the program tonight, and the first one is going to be between the Buffalo Sabres and the Detroit Red Wings. And we want to welcome a new member of the Hall of Famer of the QM, the ex-coach Alain Vigneault is a new member.
Exactly. Well, Coach, the Sabres, how can we put this? They're going to roll into Detroit tonight after that 6-5 overtime loss at the hands of Tampa Bay. I think it was on Monday night. They're currently in 7th place in the Atlantic. There's a lot to be excited about with Buffalo, but there are obviously some gaps, and that's why they are where they are right now at a record of 9-12-1. They do. I think the goaltending hasn't been exactly what it needs to be, and defensively, even though they have a couple of really great gems there, I mean they're developing, and we're starting to finally see Darlene come into his own. And that's great for Buffalo. But I think that you need obviously your second and third line defensemen also into the equation. And right now they're not quite at that level. From what I have, it's Anderson against Nedeljkovic tonight.
Yep, confirmed.
Is confirmed. Okay, great. I'm going to go with the home team. Last time I went against it and I regretted it. But I'm going to go with Detroit to win this one by a score of 4-2. I think they realize that if Detroit wants to stay in this playoff hunt, they need to get the points when they can. And this is a gettable 2 points for them.
Marco go with Buffalo, and Ranker go with Buffalo. Grayson upset trade a container and a Cap Renault. No, 41 years old, not going to go nowhere. I'm not too sure about Rick visiting me. About this, Randy go with the Wings 5-3. Really not easy game to call, Mr. Nartap, tonight between Detroit and...
No, it's hard. It's hard because Detroit has also been a bit inconsistent. I know we've sang their praises, but if you look at a lot of their victories, they haven't been against the strongest of teams either. So they need to have some games where they set the tone and give us make it a statement game for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely right about this. Game number 2, we talk about the Ottawa Senators versus the New York Rangers. Opposite side, the Rangers lost the last 3 games. Whatsoever Panarin scored finally his first goal the last 10 games, I believe. And Ottawa Senators won the last 2 games on the last trip they did. And now they come in a little bit more comfortable again, the New York Rangers. And they are at home only 5-6-0, and the Rangers are 6-4-1, Mr. ENORTAP.
Right. I think we kind of analyzed the Rangers a little bit a couple nights ago. We did look at that third line and question their lack of productivity there. We had talked about Panarin, and then when as soon as we talked about it, he went out there and scored, which was great to see. But still, he's got to do more than what we're seeing. The key thing this year is basically Shesterkin has been good, but he hasn't been great. And the other night, I thought it was kind of noble of him to take the weight of the world onto his own shoulders and sort of take the blame for the fact that the Rangers are where they are right now, and that he acknowledged that he needs to be better. Uh, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily just on him. The problem is having Halak there, and Halak has not really demonstrated that he can be the backup at this point. And what you can't do is you can't take a goalie that right now his confidence isn't exactly at peak level and keep playing him every single night. He needs a little bit of rest. He needs to build up that same confidence in himself, and that'll go a long way in helping the Rangers situation. Having said that, the Rangers are always to be taken seriously. But I like what I saw out of Ottawa the other night. They are playing at home. I'm going to go with the upset here. I'm going to take Ottawa to win at home, 3-2.
Ottawa 3-2, Mr. ENORTAP. All right, got it. Good job. I go with Ottawa 4-3, Mr. ENORTAP.
4-3.
Yep.
Excellent. Excellent.
So far, so good. Let's move on for game number 3. This one, Mr. ENORTAP. Hopefully, you go with an upset on that one.
Oh wow! Depends what you consider an upset, but uh, what can you say? The Leafs have won their last 6 road games, and the last 4 games overall in general. When they defeated Detroit as well, they're headed back home now to take on the Sharks. The Sharks, I know they were in Montreal last night, so this is a back-to-back for them. Even though it's not a long trip from Toronto to Montreal. I just think the Leafs have too much talent, too much depth for San Jose, especially on a back to back. I believe it's Dell against Samsonov tonight. So I'm going to take the Leafs, and I don't think it'll be close. So I'm going to go 6-2.
6-2?
Yeah.
All right. So you make an upset tonight. I go with Toronto 5-1, Mr. ENORTAP.
No upset. No upset here.
And last game of the night, Mr. ENORTAP, Edmonton and Chicago Blackhawks. We have a few people talk about this, so here we go.
Yeah, I believe it's Campbell against Mrazek going here. McDavid and his Oilers, they take on Kane and his Blackhawks for a nice showdown tonight. The Oilers play on the road in this matchup, which will be their 4th road game now in the last 9 days, and they've fared very well in most of those games, especially a couple of very hard-earned victories from come from behind victories. However, after an exciting overtime win against Florida, the Oilers I think they should still have a lot of energy. Those kind of games do that to you, even though you've been playing frequently. They also have they've won 2 straight games and would like to make this their 3rd in a row. I think that the Oilers will get the win here, and I don't think it's going to go to extra time at all. They're coming off of victories against 2 very strong teams in the Panthers and the Rangers. So I think they're playing well. They're not playing great, but they're playing well. And I don't think Chicago really will give them the kind of opposition that you should worry about here in this game. So I'm going to take the Oilers to defeat the Blackhawks by a score of 5-2.
5-2, Mr. ENORTAP. Great to hear that. I keep this simple. I know it's boring when we don't have no fight, you and me, but it's okay. It's okay to have a good family right now. It's better to be all together at to be split. That's the beauty about this one over
Absolutely.
there. Renault take the Chicago Blackhawks 4-3, and then Randy took the Chicago Blackhawks 5-4, Mr. ENORTAP.
And what the Blackhawks take. I know.
Very important. It's a game like Edmonton cannot lose, Mr. ENORTAP, by the way.
I think so. These are the kind of games that you want to deposit those 2 points and move on. I just hope that they don't treat it as a trap game by looking forward to the next game and thinking that this is going to be an easy night, because no team in the NHL right now is an easy win against. No team.
We did not do well, Mr. ENORTAP, yesterday for me. Anyway, I lost both game. Over and under, you was round under the first one. You are right on the second game, I believe, right? I think
Yeah.
Washington beat Vancouver. So that gave you a record, guys, of 18-12 and 13-17. But we are 7-14, Mr. ENORTAP. We just hit the 500. We cannot get a double win every night. And tonight we're going to go with the puck money line with Edmonton over 2 goal at 1 point. 2 goals. So the key on that one, Mr. ENORTAP, the Chicago Blackhawks have to beat Chicago. The Edmonton have to beat Chicago by 2. Yes or no?
Yes.
110. Honestly, it was 1.5, but 2. Yeah.
Over. Yeah.
So then Larkin over 2.5 shot on the net.
Yes, I'll take that. I'll go over.
All right, I'm going to go both me too over for that one over there. Leon has been turning up lately. Kane is on the right there. Kane has really hurt however. I picked LeSean Kane over 16.5. About that one over there. You talk about the 17 goal yesterday. It'll be interesting the next game how you're going to get there. San Jose, Montreal under. Yeah, Randy, you're absolutely right about this one over there. So that's what the prediction of what we got tonight, Mr. ENORTAP. At the end of the show, we always ask you, what are you looking for?
No, I was just thinking, Coach, of that 9-8 game, and I'm thinking, I believe it was Jones that got the victory last night, right, for San Jose? Or
Yeah, he's still in the net.
Seattle? What When's the last time a goalie has allowed 8 goals and won the game? I'm trying to.
Yeah, that did not happen a lot differently about that one over there. But who has Joan for the fantasy hockey?
I don't know who.
I don't know,
Anybody?
but the one has it. I'm sure they don't. I don't dress him. And you think about this? He was there last week for the 5 goal again, I believe, when they beat 8-5. If you remember that one over there. So.
Yeah, but it doesn't bode well for them because every goal they allow is -2. So you still end up with a negative after last night.
And then Ron said the LeSean Kings better not have another game. It's a team I cannot read. Remember, like we cannot read Dallas last season. I cannot read the Kings right now.
I could read them, Coach. I don't mean to make that sound cocky, but it's the fact that defensively they just have not committed.
Oh, my point is like the inconsistency.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they play a game. Is it a game they play like good, or is it a game they not play bad? They don't play good.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give credit to Seattle because I thought they stayed with them the entire game and pretty much
can fight back. That's a funny thing. They fight back all the time. They never take the lead a lot. They always settle lead by a couple of goals, and they fight back to get there. But listen, you score 8 goals, you should win those games, right? Like you score 4 goals, you should win those games.
When it was 8-6, I thought it was over, but they scored.
Yeah, twice. They come back, and this game had to go overtime. Just give you an idea how it was so bad at the end of the year. But would be really interesting. This game could set up something for the Kings. Like they could wake up something over there where they may be looking for a defenseman.
Yeah, I absolutely believe in that. I think that they need to probably invest in that. They have the money to do so.
Yep.
Where they're going to look and who they're going to get, that remains to be seen. But it's an area of concern, and they need to address it. And the goaltending, well, we saw what's happened with Peterson now. Can quick who's in his spot right now? Who's in Peterson's spot?
Yep. So it'll be interesting about this. They have a Laval Rocket play tonight, by the way, for the Montreal Canadiens. But what are you looking for tonight for the NHL?
Well, it's um, for me. I mean, a couple games I think shouldn't be contestable are the Edmonton and the Toronto game. I think that those two should be pretty much gimmies. But I hate saying that because anything can happen. But the Buffalo Detroit, I'm looking to see if Detroit can establish themselves as being part of that group that's going to challenge and get into the playoffs. And if they can't win a game like tonight, I know Buffalo's a very good team. I'm not trying to say otherwise, but it's a team that they should be able to beat at home, right? And these are the kind of games that sort of go a long way in building your character as a group and send you in a positive direction, or could send you spinning if you lose.
You nail it, honestly. But we could say the same thing about the Buffalo. What I would say the Buffalo, it's a little bit what Martin said we preach every day. Like where we at, what's the progression, and compare like
Yeah,
yesterday, get better every single day. I would say to you, it's a good game for Buffalo to look at themselves. So look where we are today. That then we can hang in there. I don't say if they lose is bad. My point, if they beat Detroit,
yeah, yeah,
they are a little bit not back on the race, but they are a little bit better as a team. They have a better month of November where they struggled after the last 8 straight game. I think for me, that's what I would say to you. Uh, that for Buffalo. On the Detroit, you absolutely nail it. Like they have to win. If they want to stay in the race, they want to participate to the
yeah,
playoff, you cannot lose those games. It's a game of 4 points anyway. And then Buffalo, guys, the only problem I would say is going to be always what we said at the beginning of the year is between the pipe.
yeah.
That's
If
it.
you
But
if you look at these two teams, coach, from a developmental rebuilding stage, who do you put probably a year ahead of the game?
which team?
Detroit and Buffalo. Who do you
Um,
think is about a year ahead of the other?
I still Detroit because they are more
Yeah,
veterans, right?
exactly.
Because the mix is better and they are less old compared to Buffalo. Buffalo have a
Right.
problem with the goaltender. They are missing a defenseman, maybe two. With them, I think they are. Owen Power is only 18 years old, but he played like a defenseman number two right now. It's not good enough for them, and he play on the wrong side or constantly. So
That's right.
he have something like that, right? The bottom of the lineup, there's still a lot, and they play with a lot of rookies. You think about Quinn Paterka, and I can go with Owen Power, and now they bet. So I think right now Detroit a bit advantage. Now in 3 years, we never know what could happen. But again, the prospect
Right.
of Detroit, we don't talk yet about Edvinson, and we don't talk about Casa. And Detroit at
Yeah.
long term is a little bit going to be a little bit better, I believe,
Better.
uh,
Yeah.
for the Buffalo. I
Yeah,
think
but
something happened over
just
there.
as a neutral hockey fan, when I look at these two teams, I'd say yes, Detroit right now is developmentally a little bit ahead of them. I'm willing to give more of a mulligan to Buffalo if they lose than I am to Detroit.
You're absolutely right about this, and but it's that's the beauty of what we do right here. We talk about friend youth, about continents, everything, and that's the beauty. And it's not only about the Montreal Canadian. And people participate because we talk about different things all the time. So another great show tonight, Mr. Natap. We conclude the warm up show on the middle of the week. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 o'clock p.m. Montreal play tomorrow night at 9 o'clock Eastern time. They're on the road now. Four game on the road. They go with only 12 forward, Mr. Natap. So that will be interesting if they're going to
Wow.
call up someone after the Laval Rocket. We're going to stay like this. Hoffman, Edouin are not, and
Out.
on the trip. So no Hoffman for the next 4 games. Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, and Seattle. I just ask you this question: what do you expect Montreal get number of the point?
What were the 4 teams again?
Calgary, Edmonton,
Calgary,
Vancouver, and Seattle.
Seattle. Oh my. I'll say 2 points.
I would go with 1.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe they win 1 out of the 3, or
maybe 2. Right, maybe 2, but I would go with 1.
Yeah.
Would be interesting about that. A lot of people will want to come back. William Snyder. We'll be back at 9 o'clock tonight, guys. We would like to join us 9 o'clock Eastern time. Not build by play game tonight. We're going to go around. And Wednesday we take a little bit lower night for everything. So we're going to talk about different things. Possibly other people join me at 9 o'clock, and we'll, if not, maybe open up the line whatsoever. So, but we have a lot of contents to talk for sure. We have a lot of news around the league. So thanks so much, Mr. Nata. We wish you an amazing, great night
Always a pleasure,
with us.
Coach.
I wish you speed recovery for still looking like you did pretty good.
it.
Then you fall apart again, Mr. Nata.
A little bit, but we're getting better. Thank you.
That's the way to do that. But before we leave, we cannot remember one more thing. I think you not remember that.
You are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you.
That's all that does it is. He said that, and that's the key beauty of what you are, Mr. Nata. You have the greatness inside the warm-up show. Without you, there will be impossible. And of course, when we are wrong, it's because of you. And when we are right, it's because of me. So until the next time, Mr. Nata, that's the way it works at the end of the day, Mr. Nata. When you marry for many years, you should know already it's not because of you, it's because of her. So that's happening, Mr. Nata. Is that right?
Absolutely. You're absolutely right, Coach.
That's a 101, Mr. Natap, the rules. Thanks so much, Mr. Natap. Thanks so much, everybody. When you leave the building, Mr. Natap, click on the like, because be well, be health. Find a way not only donate your day, find a way to donate second app or what, Mr. Natap?
Year 2022.
You did it again. Have an amazing, great night, Mr. ENORTAP.
Good night, Coach. Hopefully we'll see you later.
All right. Have a good night.